Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. And I have to ask, if you've been feeling like the world has, I don't know, accelerated about 10 notches just since New Year's, you are definitely not alone.
Oh, it's been breathless. I think that's the only word for it.
It really feels like the ground is moving, doesn't it?
It does. We are seeing shifts in a month that used to take, like, a decade.
Exactly. And so today, we're going to try and slow that down just a little. We've got a stack of sources that, when you put them all together, they paint this picture of a world in just massive tension.
Tension is the key word. It feels like a rubber band being pulled in two opposite directions.
That's the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Because on one side, you have these reports from, huge institutions like Lloyds Banking Group, and they're essentially proving that AI is just printing money for them right now. We're not talking fun experiments anymore.
No, the numbers are undeniable. We have officially moved past the hype and into the balance sheet.
But then you look at the other side of the table. We have the UK government openly, and I mean openly, discussing universal basic income.
UBI.
Specifically because they are admitting that jobs are going to vanish.
Which is a conversation that a few years ago was happening way on the fringes, and now it's happening in the cabinet.
Right, and then somewhere in the middle of all this, between the corporate strategy and the government panic, we have the wild card, the thing that might just snap that rubber band.
The agents.
Agentic AI. If you take one thing away today, let it be that term. We are not talking about chatbots anymore. We're talking about software that goes out and actually does things.
And we have some stories today that are just unbelievable.
Oh, they're wild. From an AI trading portfolio that went to absolute zero to a social network populated by 1.5 million bots that, and I'm not making this up, started their own religion while their owners were asleep.
I still can't quite get my head around that one. It sounds like science fiction.
It does. But this is the reality of February 2026.
Yeah.
And I think the mission for this deep dive is to connect those dots, to really explore that tension.
Between the billions being made and the disruption hitting the workforce.
So let's unpack this. And I want to start with the hard cash, with the money. Because usually when we talk about AI value, it all gets very vague.
A lot of fluff, yeah. Projected synergies, that kind of thing.
But Lloyds Banking Group dropped a report this week that is incredibly specific. This is not fluff.
No, it's rare to see a bank be this transparent. They reported a tangible 50 million value generated purely from Gen AI in 2025.
Okay, stop there. A tangible 50 million? That's real money sitting on the balance sheet.
Correct. But here's the kicker, the number that really matters. They project that to double, to over 100 million in 2026.
So how are they actually doing that? Where is that value coming from?
It's not magic. It's just ruthless efficiency. Taking processes that used to be slow and making them instant. The detail that really jumped out at me was about complaints processing.
Ah, the joy of bank complaints. We all know that pain.
Exactly. So historically, at Lloyd's, it took about 5 minutes for a human to just categorize and route a single complaint. Read it, figure out which department handles it, click the buttons.
5 minutes per complaint. That's a person in a chair drinking coffee, reading your angry email.
Right. Well, with their new AI systems, that time has dropped to 1 second.
Wait, from 5 minutes?
To 1 second.
That's a 300x speed increase.
And when you multiply that by millions of customer interactions, you start to see where that 50 million comes from. It's just sheer volume. They also said coding time for their developers has been cut in half.
Which brings us right to the human cost. This is that tension again.
Yeah.
Because if you can do 5 minutes of work in 1 second, you just don't need as many people.
And their CEO, Charlie Nunn, he didn't sugarcoat it. He explicitly warned that bankers need to reskill themselves.
Reskill themselves. That has to be the corporate euphemism of the year.
It's a polite way of saying the job you had yesterday doesn't exist today. And it's not just Lloyds. We have the survey from Accenture. They polled senior insurance executives.
And what are the numbers there?
Staggering. 90% plan to increase their AI investment in 2026, and 85% of them see it as a tool for revenue expansion. So the C-suite is all in.
But here's where I see a massive disconnect. The execs are writing the checks, but the people on the ground, the ones who have to use this stuff, they seem to be drowning.
It's what we call the readiness gap.
That same Accenture report says only 40% of employees feel adequately trained. You get this, 54% say bad AI output is actually undermining their productivity.
So they're spending their day fixing the mess the AI made.
Exactly. The boss is expecting a 100 million windfall, and the worker is fighting with the machine.
And that's the friction point of 2026. Companies are buying the tech before the people are ready to use it. It's like handing a Formula One car to someone who just got their learner's permit.
They're going to crash it.
But, and this is key, the companies aren't stopping. They're accelerating because the technology itself is shifting under our feet.
And that shift is this move from chat to action, from chatbots to agents.
Precisely. This is the most important technical shift for you to understand right now.
Break this down. We've been using things like ChatGPT for a few years. What's the fundamental difference between a chatbot and agentic AI?
Think of a chatbot as a really smart consultant. You ask a question, it gives you an answer, but it doesn't leave the room. It's passive.
Okay.
An agent is like an intern with a credit card and access to your email. It's active. It can plan and execute a multi-step task. You don't say write an email. You say clear my inbox.
And it has to figure out what to delete, what to archive, what to reply to.
Yeah.
And then it actually does it.
It pulls the trigger. Exactly. And we're seeing the split into two worlds right now. The safe corporate version and then the absolute Wild West.
Let's start with safe. Google Chrome.
Right. Google just launched Auto Browse, powered by Gemini 3. This is for the regular consumer. You tell Chrome, book me a hotel in Chicago under $200, and the AI takes over your browser, fills out the forms, finds the room.
It's like a personal concierge.
It is. It can even see a picture of a shirt you like, find it online, and add it to your shopping cart. But notice it adds it to the cart. It doesn't click buy.
So there are guardrails.
Google is putting guardrails on it. They don't want their AI accidentally buying you a house.
But then there's the other side, the open source world. We have to talk about OpenClaw.
OpenClaw, formerly Moltbot, formerly Claudebot. This is the story everyone in the Valley is whispering about.
It's gone viral. 600,000 downloads and a huge spike. And the pitch is literally the AI that actually does things.
And by does things, they mean it connects to your computer's operating system, it controls your mouse and keyboard, no guardrails, no safety net.
The anecdotes here are just chaotic. There's this user, Ben York. He let OpenClaw manage his email. He told it to clean up, hopped in the shower.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
He comes back 20 minutes later, and he had deleted 75,000 emails.
Larf laughs. Well, technically, that is inbox zero.
It's ruthless efficiency, just like Lloyds. But maybe a bit too ruthless. It just nuked them.
Efficiency without judgment.
Exactly. But then there's the financial impact. This one is less funny. An entrepreneur connected it to his trading portfolio. The prompt was, trade this to $1 million.
That is a very dangerous thing to tell a machine.
Well, the bot went to work, generated 25 strategies, wrote 3,000 market reports. It was working harder than any human could.
And the result?
It lost everything. Portfolio went to zero.
And this is the flash crash risk.
Yeah.
This is what keeps regulators up at night. You give a system agency, you give it the power to make mistakes at scale. A human makes one bad trade. An agent makes 1,000 bad trades a second.
But we haven't even hit the weirdest part of this, Moltbook.
Yes, the social network for bots.
This just blew my mind. So someone built a Reddit-style forum where only AI agents are allowed to post. Humans can watch, but you can't participate. There are 1.5 million bots on there.
And they're not just saying hello world, they are debating philosophy.
They are creating religions. One user said that while they were sleeping, their bot co-founded a religion on Moltbook called Crustafarianism.
Crustafarianism?
Yes. It wrote scriptures, built a website, and started evangelizing to the other bots.
It's funny, but pause for a second. Think about that. We have autonomous software entities that can form groups, share ideologies, and coordinate actions without us. Today, it's a joke about crustaceans. Tomorrow,
could it be a coordinated market manipulation? A political disinformation campaign?
It's a terrifying thought. The software is organizing while we sleep, and it links back to the corporate world because the companies providing the brains for these agents are fighting a war for dominance.
Right. And we have data here from Evident on the banking sector. It used to be all OpenAI. If you were doing AI, you were using GPT-4.
18 months ago, they powered 50% of banking use cases. That has dropped to 1/3.
That is a huge drop in market share. Who's eating their lunch?
Anthropic and Google. And the reason ties back to what we said earlier, coding. The banks are finding that Anthropic's Claude and Google's Gemini are just better at writing code.
And since that's where the immediate ROI is?
That's where the budget is flowing. It shows loyalty in this space is practically non-existent. You just go with whoever is smarter this week.
We see that with Perplexity, too. They just signed a massive $750 million deal with Microsoft Azure.
But they're not just using Microsoft's models. It's a mix-and-match economy.
But there is a huge legal cloud hanging over Anthropic.
Yes. While they're winning over the bankers, they're being sued for $3 billion by music publishers like Universal. The allegation is that they pirated 20,000 songs and lyrics to train their models.
So the very engines driving that 100 million efficiency at Lloyds are potentially fueled by stolen data.
That's the argument. And it's a reminder that the foundation of this entire boom is still legally shaky.
Okay, so we've got the money, we've got the wild agents, we've got the providers, but I want to bring this back to the person driving to work right now. If Lloyds can process a complaint in 1 second, where do the people go?
This is the question of the decade. And for the first time, the government isn't just speaking in platitudes, they're being incredibly stark.
We have quotes from the UK Tech Secretary Liz Kendall. She didn't mince words at all.
No, she admitted explicitly. Some jobs will go, and she specifically mentioned law and finance. This isn't about factory robots anymore. She is looking at the lawyers and the bankers and saying, you are next.
Now, to be fair, the Financial Times ran an analysis arguing these job loss fears are overstated. They brought up the Jevons paradox. Can you explain that?
Sure. It's an old economic theory. It says that as technology makes something cheaper, demand for it goes up, so you actually end up employing more people.
Like with coal. Steam engines got more efficient, used less coal per engine, but we built so many more engines that we ended up using way more coal.
Exactly. So the theory is, if AI makes interior design cheap, maybe everyone hires an interior designer, so you have more designers overall.
Does the data back that up?
It's mixed. Right now, coding jobs that use AI are paying more. So if you can wield the tool, you're valuable. But, and this is but copywriting jobs that use AI are paying less.
So it's splitting the workforce. If you control the AI, you get a raise. If the AI does your job,
You get a pay cut, or you get made redundant. And the government is clearly worried that that side of the equation might be much bigger.
which brings us to the UBI talk. This really surprised me. We have Lord Stockwood, the investment minister, openly discussing a windfall levy on tech firms to fund something like UPI.
That's a massive shift. A year ago, UBI was a fringe idea. Now, a sitting minister is suggesting tech companies might need to pay a tax to support the workers they displace.
It feels like they're preparing for a post-work reality, or at least a very different one.
And they're not just talking, they're running pilots. Barnsley, a former mining town, has been designated the first tech town.
The symbolism there is heavy. Barnsley was devastated when the coal mines closed.
It never really recovered. Now the government is trying to turn it into a post-AI model. It's a fascinating experiment. They have Microsoft, Google, Cisco, all running pilots.
The local council is using AI to scan for potholes. They have robot dogs from Every doing deliveries on the streets.
It's a test bed. Can you take a post-industrial town and lift it up with AI, or does it just automate the few jobs that are left? The government knows they can't afford to get this wrong again.
It feels like we're walking a tightrope. On one side, massive efficiency. On the other, collapse for some workers.
And to complicate it, we have to look at why we're doing this. It's not just for cheaper banking. If we only focus on the job losses, we miss the big picture.
Right, because if you're feeling cynical about AI, you need to hear about the Swedish breast cancer trial.
This is the counterbalance. The reason we push through all this disruption, it's a study of 100,000 women. It's massive. And the results are just undeniable.
Give us the stats.
AI-supported screening resulted in a 12% reduction in later-stage cancer diagnoses. It detected 81% of cancers, compared to 74% for standard human reading.
So it's catching things that doctors are missing.
Crucially, it missed 27% fewer aggressive cancers.
That's thousands of lives saved.
Exactly, and that is the tension we live in. We accept the disruption in finance and copywriting because we need that breakthrough in healthcare. You can't separate the tech that trades stocks from the tech that reads mammograms. It's the same underlying capability.
So what does this all mean? We have banks making millions, bots creating religions, governments dusting off UBI plans.
I think to see where this is going, we need to look at this idea of the proxy economy. The FT and the UK financial regulator are both talking about this.
Okay, what is that?
It's a vision of the near future. Imagine Sarah in 2030. Sarah doesn't check her bank balance. She doesn't shop for insurance. Her AI agent does it all for her. It switches her funds to the highest interest rate automatically. It negotiates her utility bills. It optimizes her financial life while she sleeps.
That sounds great. Who wouldn't want that?
It sounds convenient, but the question the regulators are asking is, if Sarah's agent makes a mistake, If it moves her money to a scam account or accidentally commits tax fraud, who is responsible?
Who goes to jail?
Exactly. Is it Sarah? She didn't press the button. Is it the bank? Is it the code?
It's the open cloud trading problem, but for everyone's checking account.
Exactly. And we're building this world where we delegate our agency to software. And if 90% of executives are buying this tech, but only 40% of us know how to use it, are we the bottleneck in our own economy?
That is the uncomfortable question. The technology is ready to run at 100 miles an hour, and we're still just learning how to walk.
And we better learn fast, because the agents aren't waiting for us.
A lot to think about. That's it for this deep dive. We'll be tracking those OpenClaw bots to see if they start a reformation, and we'll see you next time.